the winner of the new public building, which the judges selected for bringing a timeless elegance to what is a difficult part of people's lives, is the new crematorium in Guildford. And I'm here with the architect, Tom Gibb, from Haverstock Architects, and I'm going to be asking him a few key questions about this wonderful building. What were the biggest challenges to you as a designer?
The existing building really wasn't fit for purpose anymore, and it was very difficult to adapt. So we had to make the difficult decision to actually rebuild, which isn't the sort of place we normally start with architecture, but that brought along lots of challenges, such as the site restrictions that we had. So we had the Crematorium Act. We also had a lot of interred ashes, a lot of memorials, and a lot of very mature trees, beautiful trees. So trying to fit the new building into that context is quite a challenge. And the new building actually sits on the footprint of the old, because there really isn't any other space for it. It's resulted in a multi-phase project all the way through. We had to put a temporary chapel and cremator on the site to achieve what we've done there.
Could you say a little bit about what your objectives were and what you wanted to achieve with the building?
One of the biggest things really was making sure that there was a clear linear journey through the site from the arrival point, and sort of creating sort of character gardens along that journey, making sure that there's sort of a hierarchy of space, and it sort of very much relates to the sort of grieving process, the procession, the gathering, mourning, and the sort of remembrance that happens on the site, and keying that into the beautiful landscape as well, and having a sort of distinct chapel space, of course.
If you could pick one item which gives you the most delight in either the building or the landscape, what would that be?
For me, I think it's the chapel space itself. We spent a lot of time looking at the sort of delicate roof structure with the structural engineers, and sort of weaving in quite discreet servicing within that space as well. So it's got a sort of strong geometric form that sort of immediately shows you where the chapel space is on your approach, yes. And when you're inside, you've got the sort of beautiful sort of geometry of the structure and the struts that sort of flow in the space. Yeah.
So if someone was setting out on a similar project to what you've completed, what would you recommend to them to do?
Working on this project, particularly spending a lot of time with the sort of master plan, understanding what the client's expectations are and what they're looking for, the way that the client operates the site, and how the sort of the landscape sort of works as well. Bringing all that together and trying to keep it simple, which is never an easy task.
You certainly have a very satisfied client. Paul Stacey this morning was exuding enthusiasm as he was taking us round, and everybody that I've met at the council is also enthusiastic and delighted with it. So my hearty congratulations to you and your design team. And it's very good for the council in Guildford to have an exemplary building, because Guildford needs to set better design standards, and you can't do it in a better way than actually doing it on one of your own buildings. So it's a great exemplar.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and it's been very much a team effort, but it's been an enjoyable and fun process. It really has.
Well, I have to say, I think you've met all of your objectives. It's a beautiful building. It's timeless, and we felt as the judges that if there was a building in the future that was going to be listed, that the Guildford Crematorium would be one of them.